Charles Dickens was a famous English writer and social critic. He's known as the most influential person all of the time. However, his family life was extraordinary. The three Harvard sisters play a strange role in his life. It's hard to believe that he loved all of them, and the destiny of the three sisters is also very strange. Dickens fell in love with one, married another, and the third raised his children, also his grandchildren, and this woman was with him for the last time of his life. Strangely, Dickens, a writer who always praised happiness and family peace, has never enjoyed these blessings. The first time Dickens met and became acquainted with the Harvard family merely for work. Mr. Harvard has four daughters. Kate is 19, Mary is 16, Georgina and Annie are still young. Dickens loved and married the oldest sister, Kate, on April 2, 1936. Some people think that Kate is a beautiful woman with romantic beauty and deep brown eyes. The others describe her as an exhausted, angry, depressive woman. It doesn't matter what she looked like. Dickens still got married with her because he saw something special inside her. When Dickens and his wife had just moved into their new home, they persuaded his sister-in-law Mary to move in with them. It's not to care for her, because Mary was living peacefully with their parents in Chelsea. It's not to help her sister, because Mary was seriously ill. Now, his passion for sister-in-law Mary was overwhelming him. Mary's death at 18 was a shock to Dickens. One evening, when he and his wife returned from the theater, Mary's room screamed terribly. When they arrived, the girl died of a heart attack. When Dickens and his wife had just moved into their new home, they persuaded his sister-in-law Mary to move in with them. It's not to care for her, because Mary was living peacefully with her parents in Chelsea. It's not to help her sister, because Mary was seriously ill. Now, his passion for sister-in-law Mary was overwhelming him. Mary's death at 18 was a shock to Dickens. One evening, when he and his wife returned from the theaters, Mary's room screamed terribly. When they arrived, the girl died of a heart attack. He saved the ring and Mary's hair. Through Dickens' suffering, Kate somehow realized the part of her husband's feelings for her younger sister. At the same time, Kate was pregnant again, perhaps after the tragedy led to her miscarriage. Dickens did not hide his suffering about the death of his sister-in-law. He publicly wrote about this in his letters and diaries. "She's the soul of my house. We have to know that we were so happy when we were all together. I lost my pet friend, the dear little girl whom I loved so much, sweeter than anything. I can't describe in words how much I like her and the loyalty I gave to her." Even in his will, the writer expressed his will to be buried beside Mary. Dickens expressed his inner thoughts and feelings to the deceased that when Mary was alive, he expressed her respect for her and her family. When Mary died, he decided to make this public. It is possible that the love broken by the girl's death made his affection for his wife lessened. Kate understands everything that happens to her husband and gives into a dead competitor. But Mary is always present in the image of the beautiful young girls on the pages of Dickens' novels. Is Dora in David Copperfield, the young Nellie in the artist's store. Kate wholeheartedly took care of the house, and the children were born into her 9 children. She could not participate in her husband's intellectual work, almost never accompanied him in letters or to the parties held in the literary world. Kate is unwell because she is always pregnant and raising children, so she rarely socialized with the nobility. In 1842, Dickens and Kate went to America. In 1846, they went to Italy with their children, including their younger sister, Georgina, and servants. Georgina came with them to look after the housework and the children. Apparently, Kate couldn't handle everything alone. At that time, Dickens often ridiculed his wife's shortcomings and compared her to other women. And then, Dickens had an ambiguous relationship with an actress, 18 years old, Ellen Antonin. Once, he sent a gift to his mistress, but that was a mistake. He sent it to Kate's hand. Kate miserably discovered her husband is having feelings for others. Not long after they divorced, Georgina was fascinated by his brother-in-law, so she sided with him instead of her sister. They decided not to live separately, but divided the house in 2. So outside, people think they are still a happy family. When Georgina came to Dickens, she was the same age as Mary, and her appearance was very similar to Mary. She took care of the children, and it's easy to understand why their father loves her. After that, Dickens and Kate divorced. Georgina became indispensable in the home of her sister's husband. Georgina wholeheartedly supported him against her sister. Moreover, for 20 years, she did not talk to Kate until before Dickens passed away in 1870. Moreover, she made friends with Ellen Antonin, who is considered to be the one who brought the marriage of Dickens and his wife. Even she rented her a house in London. Among the Harvard sisters, Georgina is the person who sacrificed completely in love for Dickens. She gave her love to the grandparents of the children, so she did not get married. Dickens died, and according to his will, left Georgina with €8,000, personal papers, and jewelry. The Harvard sisters tied their fate to a famous writer. Maybe Dickens loved all of them. He gave each one a corner of his heart.